Manifest whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to remind you of something deeply powerful, something that has always been within your reach, though many overlook it or doubt it. You have the divine power to manifest whatever you want. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are the creator of them. Every moment of your life, whether consciously or unconsciously, you are shaping your reality through your thoughts, your emotions, and your inner beliefs. The life you live today is the reflection of the ideas you have held in your mind and the feelings you have nourished. In your heart, the universe does not discriminate, it simply responds to the vibration you send out. You are constantly broadcasting energy through your dominant state of being, and that energy magnetizes experiences that match its frequency. When you live in fear, doubt, or limitation, you attract situations that echo those emotions. But when you rise into faith, gratitude, and certainty, the world begins to shift around you. Opportunities appear, doors open, people align, and what once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. Manifestation is not magic, it is alignment. It's the art of becoming one with what you desire until there is no separation between you and the thing you seek. You don't chase your dream, you become the version of yourself that already lives that dream. You see, everything you desire already exists in the unseen realm. It's not about creating something new, it's about tuning yourself into the frequency where that reality already is. Just as a radio picks up a specific station by adjusting its frequency, you tune into your desired reality by adjusting your thoughts and emotions. The first key to manifesting whatever you want is belief. You must believe that you are worthy, capable, and chosen to receive what you seek. If your inner belief contradicts your desire, the manifestation cannot sustain itself. You cannot manifest abundance while secretly believing you are unworthy of wealth. You cannot manifest love while feeling unloved within. The outer world will always mirror your inner world. The second key is imagination, your sacred power. Imagination is not just fantasy, it's the workshop of creation. Everything ever created in this world, from inventions to revolutions, began as a thought held firmly in someone's mind. When you dare to imagine vividly and consistently, you impress your subconscious mind, and it begins to rearrange circumstances to make your vision real. So, as we begin this journey together, I want you to open your heart and mind to a deeper truth. You are not separate from the power that creates worlds. That same divine force flows through you, waiting for your command. Your life can change, your health, your finances, your relationships, your peace, all of it can transform when you decide to believe that it already has. Manifestation is not something you learn, it's something you remember. You've always had this power, it's time to use it consciously and courageously. The universe responds to the image you hold. The universe is not random. It is intelligent, responsive, and perfectly ordered, and it mirrors back to you the dominant images you hold within your consciousness. What you continually see in your imagination, what you feel deeply about, what you emotionally occupy yourself with, that becomes the command you send into the invisible field of creation. You are not here to beg the universe for favors. You are here to realize that you are one with the creative power itself. Every thought you persist in is a seed planted in the soil of eternity, and every seed must bring forth fruit according to its kind. When you look around at your life, your relationships, your health, your finances, your circumstances, what you see is not coincidence, it is reflection. You are not a victim of chance. You are a mirror of your own inner vision. The world you experience is an picturing of your state of consciousness. You can never experience beyond what you have accepted as true within yourself. If you constantly imagine struggle, delay, or lack, then life will faithfully give you situations to match that vibration. But the moment you shift the image, when you dare to hold a picture of victory, peace, and abundance, you begin to change the entire trajectory of your existence. It begins with awareness. Most people live unconsciously, reacting to appearances, worrying about what they see, and then repeating the same mental pictures day after day. They affirm what they fear instead of what they desire. But the awakened soul understands that what you focus on expands. Your inner imagery is the blueprint from which reality constructs itself. You cannot see yourself as weak and manifest strength. You cannot see yourself as a failure and manifest success. You must create a new inner portrait, one that aligns with the life you want, not the life you fear. The universe doesn't respond to wishful thinking. It responds to assumed identity. If you see yourself as prosperous, loved, and guided, then your vibration carries that conviction, and everything in your world begins to rearrange to support it. The image you hold in your mind is like a magnet, pulling into your orbit every resource, opportunity, and person needed to make that image a living reality. You may not see the process, but you can feel the shift. Life starts whispering in your favor. Synchronicities appear. What used to feel impossible begins to feel natural. That is how the universe speaks, through alignment, not through coincidence. This is why it is said that everything is created twice, first in the unseen and then in the seen. The inner creation always precedes the outer manifestation. When you mentally inhabit a vision and feel it as real, you send a signal to the creative law of the universe, saying, "This is who I am," and the universe, being obedient to its own principle, echoes back that reality in physical form. You are the cause, never the effect. The picture you hold determines the story you live. So what image are you holding? What vision do you carry of yourself day after day? Because that image is silently molding your destiny. If you constantly entertain thoughts of fear or failure, you are giving life to a reality you don't want. Your imagination is a sacred power. It is not meant to replay memories of pain or limitation. It is meant to create. You were given the gift of imagination so that you could participate in divine creation consciously. Every time you visualize your success, your healing, your peace, you are communicating with the infinite. You are saying, "This is my truth." And the universe, which always says yes, begins to fulfill that truth. Understand this: the universe is neutral. It does not judge or choose for you. It simply reflects your dominant vibration. Whether you focus on abundance or lack, love or loneliness, peace or chaos, it will magnify whichever picture you persist in. That is why discipline of mind is essential. You must train your inner vision just as an artist trains their eye. Hold firm to the image of your desired reality, even when your outer world seems unchanged. Faith is seeing the invisible and trusting it until it becomes visible. The outer world always lags behind the inner, but if you remain faithful to your vision, the outer must eventually conform. When you begin to live this truth, you stop fighting with appearances. You stop begging for change and start creating it. You realize that your imagination is not just imagination. It is reality in its seed form, and just as surely as a seed planted in good soil produces harvest, your mental images, nourished by feeling and faith, must come to pass. That is the law. The only question is whether you are planting weeds or flowers. Every great achiever has lived by this principle, whether they knew it consciously or not. They saw themselves victorious long before victory appeared. They carried within them a mental picture so strong that the outer world had no choice but to yield to it. The same power is available to you now. The key is persistence. The image you hold must become more real to you than your current reality. You must see it so vividly that your subconscious accepts it as truth. Once it does, it goes to work to bridge the gap between imagination and experience. Even in moments of doubt, return to the image, feel it as done. Speak to yourself from that state: "It is already mine. It is already happening." Your emotions are the fuel, your imagination is the blueprint, and your faith is the bridge. Together they move mountains. Life cannot deny a person who refuses to surrender their vision. And yes, challenges will come to test your faith. You will be tempted to give in to appearances, to believe that nothing is happening, but that is the moment of greatest importance. The seed is growing beneath the surface. The image you hold is gathering energy in the unseen. Do not uproot it with doubt. Stand still and know that the unseen is more real than the seen. Your persistence in holding that image will determine the speed and clarity of its manifestation. So begin today to craft your inner world deliberately. See yourself healed, blessed, and overflowing with peace. Picture the home, the relationship, the purpose, the freedom you desire, not as something you hope to have, but as something you already own in the unseen. The longer you dwell in that picture, the stronger its gravitational pull becomes. The world cannot help but rearrange itself to match the image you faithfully hold. The universe has no resistance. It does not argue with your vision. It reflects it. It has always been this way and will forever be. Therefore, make your inner vision sacred. Guard it, nurture it, and feed it with gratitude and belief. The image you hold is your prayer, your vibration, and your creation all in one. Hold it long enough and the universe will respond, not because you forced it to, but because that is the law of life itself. Your imagination is your power. The image you hold is your command. The universe is listening and it is ready to obey. Feeling is the secret. Everything in your life begins and ends with what you feel. Feeling is the true language of creation, the bridge between the invisible and the visible, the inner and the outer. Words, thoughts, and affirmations are important, but without emotion behind them, they are hollow sounds echoing into nothingness. The universe does not respond to the words you speak. It responds to the vibration those words carry, and vibration is born out of feeling. You do not manifest what you merely say, you manifest what you feel to be true. Every emotion you hold is a signal sent out into the field of energy that surrounds and sustains all things. That field, call it God. The universe or consciousness responds faithfully to your dominant emotional state. It mirrors it perfectly. When you feel joy, gratitude, and abundance, that vibration magnetizes experiences that make you feel even more joyful, grateful, and abundant. But when you dwell in fear, anger, or worry, life returns those emotions multiplied. The outer world is nothing but a reflection of your inner weather. Many people spend years repeating affirmations, visualizing, or praying, yet see little change because they never move from the head to the heart. They speak of prosperity while still feeling poor. They visualize love while still feeling unloved. They ask for healing while still feeling broken. But the law of creation cannot be fooled. The universe reads the emotion behind your words, not the sound of them. If your feeling contradicts your affirmation, your feeling always wins. Feeling is the magnetic current that pulls reality into alignment. You must learn to feel before you see. To feel it real is the secret to manifestation. When you imagine the thing you desire, don't simply picture it, enter into the emotion of having it now. Ask yourself, how would it feel if this were already true? And then live in that feeling as often as you can. If you desire wealth, feel the security, the freedom, the relief that abundance brings. If you desire love, feel the warmth, the comfort, the joy of being loved deeply and completely. If you desire health, feel the strength, the energy, vitality flowing through you. The emotion of the wish fulfilled is the power that turns imagination into experience. Every time you generate a genuine feeling of fulfillment, you impress that feeling upon your subconscious mind. The subconscious does not distinguish between real and imagined emotions. It accepts every feeling as a command to create. The moment you feel something deeply, your subconscious begins arranging circumstances, ideas, and opportunities to match it. Feeling is the law in motion. The outer world bends to the intensity of your inner emotion. This is why gratitude is one of the most powerful emotions you can embody. Gratitude declares that you already have what you desire. It closes the gap between wanting and receiving. When you live in gratitude for something before it appears, you are saying to the universe, it is already done, and the universe, which always reflects belief, confirms your declaration by making it visible. Gratitude magnetizes blessings because it is the vibration of completion. But feeling also requires faith, the courage to hold that emotion even when nothing in your current reality supports it. It is easy to feel successful when everything around you looks like success. It is easy to feel loved when someone is showering you with affection. But the true test of mastery is when you can feel the end result in the middle of the storm. When everything outside of you says no, and yet you still feel yes. That's when creation happens, the unseen begins to move, the laws of the universe start to respond. Faith is not hoping that something might happen. Faith is feeling that it already has. Feeling is the creative power because it collapses the illusion of separation. When you feel something as real now, you merge with the state of being that already possesses it. The law of manifestation says that you can only receive what you are. You cannot attract abundance while feeling lack. You cannot attract love while feeling lonely. You cannot attract peace while feeling anxious. You must become the vibration of the thing you seek, and the fastest way to become it is to feel it deeply. Feeling transforms your consciousness. It shifts your identity. When you feel a new state long enough, you begin to think, speak, and act from that state automatically. Your external circumstances will catch up because reality always mirrors identity. You are not waiting for change, you are embodying it. This is why all great teachers have said that prayer is not about asking, but about believing you already received. True prayer is emotional acceptance, a state of inner knowing so complete that the outer must obey. But let's be clear, feeling is not pretending. It's not forcing an emotion you don't truly believe. It's about gently guiding yourself into the vibration that matches your desire. You may start small, a few moments of peace, a few seconds of joy, but each time you practice feeling your wish fulfilled, you strengthen that emotional muscle. Over time, it becomes natural. The state of being that once felt distant becomes familiar, and once it feels familiar, it must manifest. Every manifestation is born out of an emotional decision, a moment when you decide to feel different regardless of circumstances. That single moment can rewrite your entire destiny, because when you shift your feeling, you shift your frequency, and when you shift your frequency, everything around you begins to change. People respond to you differently, opportunities appear, synchronicities unfold, the world bends in your favor. You are no longer chasing results, you are drawing them effortlessly through vibration. If you want to test this law, try this. Tonight before you sleep, close your eyes and imagine one desire fulfilled. Don't worry about how it will come. Simply sink into the feeling of it already being true. Feel the satisfaction, the joy, the relief. Drift off to sleep in that feeling. Do this night after night, and you will begin to notice subtle changes, coincidences, nudges, inspirations. That is the universe answering the emotion you planted. Your emotions are prayers. Every time you feel lack, you are praying for more lack. Every time you feel abundance, you are praying for more abundance. The law cannot be deceived. The key is to become aware of what you are feeling most of the time. You cannot always control every thought, but you can choose the emotional tone you live in. Make your dominant emotion the one that matches your desired reality. Let joy, peace, and gratitude become your natural state. The moment you master feeling, you master life. You stop waiting for things to change and start realizing that you are the change. When you feel it within, it must show up without. That is the law, that is the truth, and that is the secret that the wise have known for centuries. The heart is the gateway to creation, and the universe speaks only the language of emotion. So speak to it clearly. Speak to it through the power of your feeling, for feeling is, and always will be, the secret. You must detach from the how. The most profound freedom in manifestation comes when you release the need to control how your desire will unfold. The how belongs to the divine intelligence that governs all creation. Your role is to believe, to feel, and to know that it is already done. The rest is none of your concern. The moment you start trying to figure out the process, you interfere with the flow of the universe. You move from trust to tension, from surrender to struggle. Detachment from the how is not giving up, it is allowing. It is the highest form of faith. The moment when you stop pushing and start allowing the unseen to do its work. Every time you worry about the details, when, where, or through whom it will happen, you are sending a signal of doubt. You are declaring that you do not truly believe the universe can handle it without your interference. But the truth is, you are never meant to carry the burden of logistics. You are the dreamer, not the engineer. Your imagination sets the direction. The infinite takes care of the route. The how is the domain of divine intelligence, an intelligence that sees all paths, all connections, all possibilities that you could never comprehend with your limited perspective. Consider the seed planted in the ground. It does not worry about how it will grow. It does not plan the exact moment the roots will spread or the leaves will emerge. It simply trusts the soil, the rain, the sun, the natural order of life. In the same way, your desire is a spiritual seed planted in the fertile soil of consciousness. Your job is to keep the vision alive and nurture it with faith, gratitude, and feeling. The universe will handle the sequence of events necessary for its manifestation. You do not need to micromanage the miracle. When you detach from the how, you open yourself to divine timing. You stop trying to make things happen and start allowing them to unfold. Often, the path the universe takes is far greater, faster, and more harmonious than the one you could have planned, but if you cling to your own plan, you block the greater one. Detachment is trust in action. It is saying, I don't know how this will happen, but I know it will. And in that knowing, the way appears. The need to control the how comes from fear. Fear that it might not happen. Fear that you are not enough. Fear that time is running out. But fear only delays manifestation. The energy of fear is resistance. It tightens the flow. The energy of faith is surrender. It opens the channel. When you let go, you move into the current of divine order, where everything begins to align effortlessly. People show up at the right moment, opportunities present themselves, and circumstances shift in ways your logical mind could never have designed. Think of your mind and the universe as two sides of one coin. Your conscious mind gives the direction, this is what I desire. Your subconscious, connected to the infinite, takes that direction and arranges the outer world accordingly. But the moment you start doubting or trying to force outcomes, you disrupt that sacred partnership. The conscious mind starts interfering with the process of the subconscious. True manifestation requires harmony between both a vision clearly held in the conscious mind and a deep trust that the subconscious through the universe will bring it to pass. When you detach from the how, you also detach from the need to see immediate results. You stop looking for signs every minute, testing whether it's working. Constant checking is a sign of disbelief. Imagine planting a seed and then digging it up every day to see if it's growing. You would kill the very thing you're trying to nurture. Faith means leaving it in the ground and trusting that unseen forces are at work. The same is true with your desires. Once you have imagined and felt your wish fulfilled, leave it alone. Let the universe handle the details. Detachment doesn't mean apathy. It doesn't mean you stop caring about your desire or withdraw your attention. It means you hold your vision with calm certainty, without anxious energy. You know it's coming because it already exists in the unseen. You've already received it in consciousness, and once something is received within, it must appear without. Your only task is to stay in alignment with the feeling of already having it, not in the fear of losing it. How is the bridge between imagination and manifestation, and that bridge is invisible to the human eye. You cannot see its construction, but it is being built with every moment of faith you hold. Every time you choose trust over doubt, surrender over control, gratitude over fear, another piece of that bridge forms, and suddenly one day you find yourself standing in the reality you once imagined, wondering how it all came together so perfectly. That's the beauty of divine orchestration. It always feels like a miracle. Your ego craves certainty and control, but your spirit knows that control is an illusion. The more you try to force life, the more resistance you create. The more you relax into faith, the faster everything aligns. The universe loves to surprise those who trust it. It delights in showing you that it can move through channels you never imagined, through people you never met, through events you never planned. When you detach from the how, you give permission for the miraculous to enter. Sometimes detachment means accepting temporary silence. There will be moments when nothing seems to be happening, but remember, silence is not absence, it is gestation. Just as a seed grows unseen beneath the soil, your manifestation is forming in the invisible realm. When nothing seems to be happening, that's when the most is happening. The universe is rearranging the entire web of reality to fulfill what you have already claimed in spirit. Your patience and trust keep the energy pure, your anxiety and doubt disturb it. So rest in peace, not in inactivity, but in assurance. You must come to understand that detachment is not passive. It is the most powerful state of being. It says, I have already received, and I trust the unseen process. It is emotional mastery, the ability to stand in faith when every outer condition screams the opposite. Detachment is your declaration that you are one with the creative power, and therefore you have no need to chase outcomes. You rest in your knowing and allow the divine to surprise you. Miracles do not happen because of effort, they happen because of surrender. Effort is human, surrender is divine. When you stop trying to make things happen, you allow them to happen. The law of least resistance is the law of manifestation. Water flows where there is openness, not where there is pressure. Your desire will flow into your life the same way when your energy is soft, trusting, and open. So whenever you find yourself wondering how it will come, pause and remember, you are not the doer. The same intelligence that makes the stars shine and the tides move is guiding your desire into being. Your responsibility is alignment, not assembly. Keep your vibration high, your vision clear, and your heart surrendered. The how will reveal itself in divine timing, and when it does, it will make perfect sense. The universe has infinite ways to fulfill your request, ways beyond your current imagination, but it can only do so when you stop interfering. The moment you truly let go, everything begins to move. The people, the opportunities, the timing, all of it starts to fall into place with effortless precision. Detachment is not losing control, it is aligning with higher control. The how is not your burden, it is God's masterpiece. Trust it and watch how beautifully it unfolds. Your inner conversation shapes reality. Every word you speak within yourself is a seed planted in the garden of your subconscious mind. Whether whispered in thought or echoed in feeling, your inner conversation becomes the foundation of your outer life. You are constantly talking to yourself from the moment you wake to the moment you sleep, and those invisible dialogues are constructing your reality in silence. The world you see is not created by chance, but by the repeated tone of your self-talk. Change the conversation within, and you will change the conditions without. Most people believe that their thoughts are reactions to life, but the truth is far greater. Life is a reaction to their thoughts. What you continually affirm inside yourself about who you are, what you have, what you deserve becomes the law of your experience. You cannot escape your inner words. They follow you wherever you go, shaping circumstances, drawing events, and attracting people who match their vibration. You are always declaring something to the universe, even in silence. When your inner speech is filled with doubt, complaint, or fear, your subconscious accepts that as instruction. It begins to organize reality to match your declarations. You may not realize it, but the phrases you repeat, "I never have enough," "nothing ever works for me," "I'm always alone," become programs running in the background of your life. The subconscious does not argue or interpret, it obeys. It hears your words and says, "So be it," and soon your outer world reflects exactly what you said within. But when you become conscious of your inner dialogue, everything changes. You awaken to your power as a creator. You begin to speak deliberately, not just outwardly, but inwardly. You start to replace self-defeating phrases with words that affirm strength, abundance, and worthiness. You tell yourself, "I am guided, I am favored, I am enough." And as you persist in this new inner tone, your subconscious receives new orders. The outer world, obedient to its invisible master, starts rearranging itself to mirror your renewed identity. You see, words are not mere sounds, they are vibrations of consciousness. Every word carries energy, and energy is the substance from which reality is formed. The most powerful words you will ever speak are the ones you say when no one is listening. Your inner monologue is a creative force. You are shaping your future in every quiet conversation you have with yourself. The world is simply a mirror, reflecting the mental chatter of your soul. If you look at your current life and find areas of frustration, stagnation, or pain, trace them back to your inner speech. What have you been saying about that part of your life? If you keep repeating stories of limitation, "I can't," "I'm stuck," "it's too late," you are reinforcing that state of being. The only way to break free is to change the narrative. Speak a new story within. Say to yourself, "I am capable, I am moving forward, the way is opening before me." Words spoken with conviction become living truths. Your inner conversation must align with the reality you desire, not the one you currently see. Most people make the mistake of talking about what is instead of what can be. They describe their problems instead of declaring their power. But the creative law of the universe does not respond to descriptions, it responds to declarations. When you speak from the state of the wish fulfilled, your subconscious begins to embody that state as real. Suppose you want to experience abundance, start by listening to your inner speech about money. Do you speak lack or prosperity? Do you say, "I can't afford it," or "money flows to me freely and easily"? Your words reveal your belief, and your belief dictates your experience. The same applies to love, health, success, and purpose. Whatever area of life you wish to transform, begin by transforming the way you speak to yourself about it. This inner dialogue is the bridge between imagination and manifestation. Your imagination creates the image, your words give it life. When you align what you see in your mind with what you say in your heart, creation must occur, but this requires consistency. You cannot speak faith one moment and fear the next. The subconscious responds to repetition. Persist in your new self. arc until it becomes natural, until it feels like the only truth you know. Then, and only then, will your outer life shift to match it. One of the most powerful practices you can adopt is to become the observer of your thoughts. Throughout the day, listen to the voice inside your mind. What is it saying? Is it encouraging or critical? Is it creative or destructive? Awareness is the first step toward transformation. You cannot change what you are unaware of. Once you catch yourself engaging in negative self-talk, do not condemn it, simply redirect it. Replace it with a statement that empowers you. Over time, this practice rewires your mind and new outcomes follow naturally. Remember that every word carries emotion, and emotion amplifies creation. When your inner conversation is infused with genuine feeling, love, gratitude, certainty, it imprints upon your subconscious more powerfully. Feel what you say as already true. If you declare, "I am healed," feel the vitality in your body. If you affirm, "I am successful," feel the satisfaction of achievement. Emotion turns words into commands. The more real it feels inside, the faster it becomes real outside. You must also be careful about how you speak to others, for your outer speech often mirrors your inner state. If you constantly talk about problems, gossip about others, or rehearse pain, you are reinforcing those vibrations within yourself. Guard your tongue, and you guard your destiny. Speak words that build, not words that break. Speak from the vision, not the visible. Your speech should be an echo of your higher self, not your fears. In moments of silence, those quiet times when your mind drifts, choose to fill the space with conscious affirmation. Instead of replaying worries, whisper blessings. Instead of complaining, give thanks. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. Eventually, your subconscious will be saturated with faith, love, and peace. Your outer world will begin to reflect that serenity. The storms may rage around you, but within there will be calm, and that inner calm will shape circumstances into harmony. Even prayer, at its core, is inner conversation. It is communion with the divine within. True prayer is not begging, it is believing. When you pray, you are speaking to yourself as God, affirming your unity with the creative power. When you say, "It is done," you are declaring the end as already accomplished. That is the essence of creation. The more deeply you believe your words, the more quickly reality bends to them. So watch what you say to yourself when no one is watching. Those words are forming the fabric of your future. You are either talking yourself into expansion or limitation. You are either aligning with love or aligning with fear. Life does not respond to your outer voice, but to your inner conviction. Speak to yourself as the person you wish to be: strong, wise, abundant, favored. Speak as if the dream were already true, and it will become so. The inner conversation is the architect of destiny. Every reality begins as a whisper in the mind. Speak light where there is darkness. Speak hope where there is doubt. Speak victory where there is defeat. And as you persist in these holy conversations, the world around you will begin to mirror your renewed truth. For the universe can only echo what you continually declare, and when your inner words are in harmony with your highest vision, reality itself must obey. When you truly live in the end, something remarkable happens. The world around you begins to shift in ways that defy logic. Living in the end means walking, talking, and thinking as if your desire is already a reality. It means no longer hoping or waiting, but being. When you live in the end, you stop looking for signs, because your entire life becomes the sign. You stop asking when your manifestation will arrive, because you understand it already has. You begin to dwell in the state of fulfillment, and from that state, everything necessary for its physical appearance is drawn to you effortlessly. The power of living in the end lies in identity. You cannot manifest something you still see as separate from yourself. The person who wants abundance and the person who has abundance are two completely different states of consciousness. If you stay in the state of wanting, you are constantly reaffirming that you don't have it. But when you embody the state of already having, the universe must rearrange itself to match your new identity. This is the law. The inner state creates the outer world. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, reality bends to accommodate your assumption. It's not about pretending or faking it. It's about becoming deeply convinced within. The conviction that your desire is already yours is what draws it into visibility. The unseen world always precedes the seen. Just like a seed planted underground must sprout before you see the plant, your inner assumption must take root before it appears in your world. But once it does, it is unstoppable. Living in the end means you no longer seek validation from the outer world. You know who you are, and you trust the unseen process. The mistake most people make is that they keep shifting back and forth between faith and doubt. One moment they are confident, the next they are questioning everything. They check for signs, they worry about how it will happen, and in doing so, they return to the state of lack. But the person who truly lives in the end is unmoved by appearances. Even if everything outside looks opposite, they remain inwardly steadfast. Their inner knowing becomes stronger than the evidence of the senses. That is when manifestation becomes inevitable, because the outer must eventually mirror the inner conviction. When you live in the end, you begin to notice subtle changes in your behavior. You speak differently. You make decisions as if success is guaranteed. You stop doubting your worthiness because you already know you have received. You act as though you are the one who already possesses the blessing, not in arrogance, but in quiet confidence. This shift in being naturally attracts opportunities that align with your new state. People begin to treat you differently, not because they changed, but because you did. You've become magnetic to everything that resonates with your inner identity. Living in the end also teaches you patience and trust. True faith is not about rushing, it's about resting. When you know something belongs to you, you don't panic about when it will show up. You can relax because the outcome is certain. Think of an actor who has already read the entire script. They know how the story ends, so they can perform every scene with confidence, no matter how dramatic it becomes. That's how you must approach life. You've already seen the ending in your imagination, so no matter what happens in between, you stay calm, knowing the conclusion is already written. Every great creator, visionary, or spiritual teacher who manifested great things lived in the end. They didn't wait for evidence to believe. They believed until evidence appeared. They felt the reality of their dream so vividly that it became impossible for it not to manifest. Their imagination became more real to them than the physical world, and that faith pulled the unseen into form. You can do the same. You can live each day as if your desired reality is your current one. If you desire healing, walk as if you are already whole. If you desire abundance, spend your time as if you are already provided for. If you desire love, speak as if you are already loved deeply. The energy you embody now is the energy that becomes your tomorrow. The beauty of this principle is that you don't have to force anything. Living in the end is effortless once you fully accept it. You don't need to repeat affirmations for hours. You simply need to rest in the knowing that it is done. This calm assurance creates a frequency that naturally attracts everything in alignment. The law of assumption states that what you assume to be true becomes true for you. So assume the best, assume success, assume blessings, assume peace, and then walk as if you have received them. Even when things appear to fall apart, stay in your chosen end. Every seeming obstacle is just a bridge to fulfillment. Life may test your commitment to the state you've chosen, but these moments are not meant to break your faith, they are meant to strengthen it. When you remain loyal to your assumption despite temporary opposition, you prove to the universe that you are ready to receive, and when you no longer need it to appear to believe it's real, that's precisely when it shows up. Living in the end is an inner celebration before the outer manifestation. It's smiling before the reason to smile arrives. It's feeling grateful before you see the proof. It's waking up each day with a quiet certainty that your prayer has been answered. And because you are aligned with that end, the world must align with you. You must remember, reality is not fixed. It bends to consciousness. Everything you experience is the reflection of who you assume yourself to be. So if you wish to change your life, don't chase circumstances, change your assumption. Become the person who already has what you desire. Speak from that place, think from that place, feel from that place, and you will live in that place. This is how creation works. When you live in the end, miracles no longer surprise you, they become your normal. You stop waiting for blessings and start walking in them. You realize that the only thing that ever separated you from your desire was the belief that it wasn't already yours. Once that illusion is gone, manifestation becomes as natural as breathing. You are not trying to get anything, you are remembering that you already have everything, and as you continue to live in the end steadfast, peaceful, unshakable, the universe will rise to meet your belief. Your world will echo your inner conviction, and every desire of your heart will unfold in divine order, because the one who lives in the end has already won.